All right, let's dive into the secret world of English phrasal verbs. Those little word combinations that look so simple but can change the meaning of, well, everything. If you get one wrong, you could find yourself in a really awkward spot. So, you think you're ready to solve the phrasal verb puzzle? Let's get started. Okay, let's just take a look at this sentence right here. He was carrying on with his coworker. On the surface, it sounds pretty innocent, right? Maybe he was just, I don't know, continuing a project with them. But what if I told you that this little phrase could mean something so much more scandalous? And this is where it gets interesting. You see, if he were going out with his coworker, that's simple. It's dating, no big deal. But carrying on with them? Oh no. That suggests a secret affair, something illicit. Just look at that. One tiny word change, and we've rocketed from a simple office romance to a full-on drama. That is the power of the phrasal verb puzzle. So, to figure out puzzles like that one, it all comes down to context. Let's start with something we all do every day, waiting. The phrasal verb you pick here can tell a whole story about why you're waiting. Are you just pausing for a second? Are you hesitating? Or are you just killing time? It's all about the intention behind the wait. First up, we've got hold on. This is your basic, everyday pause. It's super practical, usually pretty brief. Honestly, just think of it like hitting the pause button in the middle of a conversation. It's a simple, straightforward request to just wait a sec. But what happens if you swap on for back? Suddenly, the meaning totally transforms. Hold back isn't just about pausing, it's a strategic move. There's a clear reason here. You're being cautious, you're hesitating, maybe you're just waiting for the absolute perfect moment to jump in. You're actively stopping yourself for a purpose. So here's the real difference, right? Hold on is just about a short pause in time, but hold back is a pause with a plan. One is pretty passive, while the other is an active, deliberate choice. It's kind of like the difference between waiting for a red light to change and waiting for the perfect moment to make your move in a chess game. Okay, so we've got a simple pause and a strategic pause. But what if you're waiting with no purpose at all? Well, that's where hangabout comes in. This one is all about just casually lingering. There's zero urgency. You're just there, killing time, waiting for something else to happen. It's got this super relaxed, totally informal feel to it. Really, it all boils down to attitude. Hold back is all about caution, about purpose, your thinking, your planning. Hang about, on the other hand, is completely aimless. It's the difference between a spy in a trench coat waiting for a secret signal and a teenager just slouching against a wall waiting for their friends to show up. Now, this kind of subtle difference isn't just for actions. It's huge for our emotions, too. Let's take annoyance, for example. Phrasal verbs can paint this incredibly vivid picture of exactly how irritated someone is, giving us a whole spectrum from just a little bothered to seriously mad. I love this. It's like having a thermostat for your frustration. So if someone's attitude puts you off, you're just mildly annoyed, maybe a little grossed out. But if a last-minute favor has put you out, the irritation is way stronger. You feel really inconvenienced, like it's a burden. And if someone's actions have ticked you off, okay, now that's real annoyance. We're bordering on anger here. You feel like they did it on purpose. See that? From mild distaste to genuine anger, the right phrasal verb tells you everything you need to know. And this kind of precision is just everywhere, from how we feel to what we do. Think about how we talk about making progress, or even just starting a trip. The phrasal verb you decide to use says so much about your attitude and how committed you really are. So if you say you're gonna head out to Paris, it feels really spontaneous and casual. It's like you just woke up and said, hey, let's go to Paris, and now you're on your way. It has this really chill, informal vibe. But if you set off to Paris, it sounds way more deliberate, more planned out. It really puts the emphasis on the start of a real journey. You've packed your bags, you've got a schedule. This is not just a whim. This is the official beginning of a trip. So yeah, it's all about the vibe, isn't it? Head out to is spontaneous. It's that let's go feeling. Set off to is purposeful. It's our journey begins now. One's a casual exit, the other is a deliberate launch. This nuance also applies to big personal changes. If somebody tells you they're going to lay off drinking, it really suggests a temporary break. It's about moderation, just taking a little pause, maybe for a month or something. The commitment level feels pretty flexible. However, if that same person says they're gonna give up drinking, whoa, that is a whole different ballgame. This sounds serious, decisive, and usually permanent. It signals a major life change, not just some temporary tweak to their habits. And that single distinction means everything. Lay off is a casual, short-term break. Give up is a serious, long-term resolution. The words we choose broadcast the true depth of our commitment to everyone listening. Let's look at one last really powerful example where this is absolutely critical. Punishment. A judge will hand out a sentence. That's the moment of decision of assigning the penalty. But it's the prison system that will carry out that sentence. They are the ones who enforce it. See the difference? One is the decision, the other is the action. It's a crucial distinction. So, after going through all of these examples, how do we actually solve this phrasal verb puzzle in our own lives and our own conversations? Well, the solution is actually a pretty simple toolkit.
It's really this simple. First, always look at the context. Where is this being said and by who? Second, listen for the emotional vibe. Does it sound casual or formal, positive or negative? And third, always ask yourself about the intent. Was this on purpose or an accident? If you check for these three things, I promise you will crack the code every single time.
You know, it all just comes down to something Mark Twain once said. He said, "The difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. 'Tis the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning." And that's exactly it. Choosing the right phrasal verb gives your words that same power, that same electrifying precision. So, I want to leave you with this one question to chew on. After everything we've talked about today, what's a phrasal verb that you're now realizing you might have been using in a totally different way this whole time? The puzzle is officially in your hands now. Thanks for digging into this with me.